Jujutsu Kaisen. I like this anime, and I'm going to tell you why. The show's brought to you by Studio Mappa, who also happens to be working on Attack on Titan Season 4. That isn't all, however, as they are also preparing a new Yuri on Ice movie, Zombieland Saga Season 2, and the upcoming adaptation of Chainsaw Man. You'd think that this would somehow hinder the quality of the shows coming out, considering they have their hands on about half of the shit coming out. Yet here we are. They are absolutely turning up this season, with AOT and Jujutsu Kaisen doing so very well, and are sitting on a colossal goldmine of good shows going into the future. This project is being headed by Song-Hoo Park, the same director who worked on the God of High School anime. If you like the fight scenes in that show, I can tell you that that same energetic, wild energy is present in this show as well, and you'll probably enjoy this one too. Our story starts with Yuji, a boy who apparently won American Ninja Warrior and whose ideal woman is Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not making that up. Anyway, while casually saving his friends from getting devoured by this thing, he gets himself into a bit of a pickle. About to get eaten, he decides that he is actually pretty hungry as well, so he eats this nasty looking demon toe and gets possessed by one of the most powerful characters in the show. Luckily, another one of the most powerful characters in the shows there says, "Hey, I'm more powerful," and then proceeds to beat the living devil out of him. However, the devil is actually still inside him, and he is given an ultimatum. Die right now, or die later after you have eaten more of the nasty demon toes. And he's like, I guess I am still a little hungry, and thus begins the story of a boy becoming the next shonen protagonist. Now, when I say the word shonen, I imagine that a wide range of emotions may be evoked, spanning from the, yes, inject that straight into my veins, to, oh god, please no, I can't take anymore. The formula tends to follow a pretty simple path, where our main character fights to save somebody, powers up to beat the evil person, etc, etc. Little Timmy is always going to be there to save the day, and no matter how bad they are beaten, everything is going to be fine. However, Jujutsu Kaisen takes a different approach when it comes to its individuals. As our main character is getting the ever-living stuffing knocked out of him, he's not thinking about how, oh, thank God my friends got out to safety. He's more like, yo, I don't want to die, get me the fuck out of here. One of our other main characters simply refuses to save somebody if he deems them a bad person. It reminds me of one of those situations where the evil person is hanging off a cliff, holding out their hand and saying, "Help me," to the good guy, and then the dumbass actually helps him up and gets stabbed in the back for it. Megumi sees them hanging there and says, "Nah," while proceeding to Spartan kick them off the cliff as they fall to their doom. A breath of fresh air, if I'm being honest. The way that the characters actually react in realistic manners to these crazy ass situations they're in, and not just being a psychopath who will do anything for justice, is again an air of fresh breath. However, as I have just been sitting here telling you all about how realistic this show is, it's really not. She brings a hammer and nails to every fight. Might need to repair a door or something. He can only talk in rice ball ingredients. Grandpa whips out his electric guitar to assert his dominance from time to time. And this is a panda. You know, you've got to give it to the original creator. There was no lack of creativity when it came to the character designs. Other than this guy, I'm pretty sure Gojo is just Kakashi, and there is not much you can do to change my mind. This balance of craziness and seriousness is actually done really well. One second you can be dealing with some monster that looks fresh out of Parasite with the disgusting body horror and all. Except these ones. These ones are kinda cute. People die, the good guys don't always win, and the world can be extremely unfair to good people. The next second, however, you are watching some of the most hilarious shenanigans I have seen in recent anime. If you've been moving on to the next episode before the ending sequence finishes, I beg you to go back and watch some of these stupid skits at the end. The main villains being schoolgirls and falling in love with each other because, you know, Gojo sneaking a piece of paper with a penis into this guy's pocket. Neither the dark or light aspects of the show overstay their welcome, and this helps to keep it fresh, helps to keep you on your toes and having a good time. I really hope that Mappa keeps pumping out more of this Jujutsu Kaisen. Having some good-ass shonen to look forward to is always a pleasure. There's something about characters just beating the ever-living hell out of each other, and then right when it looks like the main character is about to be beaten, their hair changes color and they get all cool and stuff. It's provocative, it gets the people moving, and good shonen are just so much fun to watch. Mix this with some super fast pacing where stuff is always going down. Fights aren't drug out, and with the time that they save by not dragging fights out, they fill the void with even more fights. The show's just pure goodness with very little fat, and it is just mwah. Jujutsu Kaisen is nearing the end of its first season as well, so now is as good of a time as any to start binging. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.